We are angry. This is not acceptable, and our kids and our communities deserve better.
This morning, calls for action in the wake of the latest school shooting tragedy. State lawmakers are weighing in as we share new details about the Nashville shooter.
Also, firebomb arrest. What we're learning about the suspect police now say is in custody, accused of firebombing a Madison pro-life building.
And we have some snow showers and flurries moving across southern Wisconsin. That's with a cold front, a cold day, but we're talking about some spring-like thunderstorms later this week.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
I'm Shane Hogan. Kelly Slifka's here. We're talking some snow. We're talking some thunderstorms. Then we got a 60 in there.
I mean, what's not in the forecast at this point?
I don't know.
That's a rhetorical question. You're going to have to answer that.
And don't shoot the messenger, right?
Yeah, don't shoot the messenger. I mean, it's been going on and on. It looks like this week is not going to be any different than what we've seen over the last several weeks. We are kind of slowly switching to a more spring-like weather pattern. I know we have to deal with some snow showers this morning, and that's out ahead of a cold front that's moving through. It's going to be a chilly day. We will see some sun this afternoon, but with these north winds ushering in some colder weather, it's going to be a little bit deceiving going in the afternoon. Right now, we're sitting at 33. So we do have some snow showers this morning. Really no accumulation with this, just kind of nuisance snow showers coming through. Tomorrow, as we start to transition to some warmer air, as some warmer air works in, we'll see some rain developing in the afternoon, and that could lead to some stronger storms as we go into our Friday, especially Friday afternoon, Friday evening, say between 3 and about 8 o'clock. I think that's when we'll have the best opportunity for seeing some of those stronger storms develop. Meantime, we do have some of these snow showers and flurries moving through this morning. We'll clear out after 10 o'clock from north to south, but noticing temperatures only in the 20s as we start to clear out, and that's behind that cold front. Headed into the mid-30s, and that's all we can do today. So no problems traveling this morning, maybe a few snow showers or flurries, not really going to be accumulating. We'll get into some sunshine today, but it will be a cold afternoon. We'll have more on that severe weather potential in that alert date Friday coming up in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Let's take a live look now at Nashville, Tennessee this morning as we continue to cover the tragic Covenant school shooting. We are learning more this morning about the 6 victims and about those key minutes during which law enforcement entered the school and killed the shooter. This shooting has struck a nerve and is once again raising the issue of gun control.
This morning, we'll look at where gun reform stands at the State House and get some expert advice on how to talk to children about this tragedy.
First, though, that new information about the shooting itself. Dramatic police video body camera showing the moments before officers took down the Covenant school shooter just 14 minutes after the first 911 call. Here's a look at some of that body camera footage. Nashville's police chief, meantime, says the shooter, 28-year-old Audrey Hale, had legally purchased 7 guns from 5 local stores. 3 of them were used in Monday's attack. Investigators say Hale's parents believe she had only 1 weapon and sold it. Police also say Hale was under the doctor's care for an emotional disorder.
Law enforcement knew nothing about the treatment she was receiving, but her parents felt that she should not own weapons.
Among the victims, 9-year-olds Evelyn Dykehouse, William Kenny, and Haley Scruggs. Scruggs was the daughter of Covenant Presbyterian's lead pastor. Also among the dead, teacher Cynthia Pike, custodian Mike Hill. Hill was a father of 7 who worked at the school for 14 years. The head of the school, Catherine Kuntz, also shot and killed.
This renewed attention on gun violence raises question on where Wisconsin is on the issues. Earlier this year, when Governor Tony Evers introduced his budget draft, he included things like expanded background checks and red flag laws in that bill. But Republican lawmakers reiterated they will start from scratch, taking out those Evers policy proposals on things like gun control. Madison State Senator Melissa Agard says they should remain.
It's going to take a state. It's going to take people standing up and saying, no more. We are angry. This is not acceptable. And our kids and our communities deserve better.
Republicans are pushing to have gun control measures passed as separate legislation, but red flag laws, for instance, that bill has introduced the past 2 sessions, failing both times. A similar bill hasn't been introduced yet this session.
Health experts say talking to your children about what they've seen or heard may not be easy, but it may be necessary. Licensed therapist Jody Baumstein says that it's common for parents to be nervous about a conversation about a tragedy, But she says to start by asking open-ended questions as to how they feel or what questions they may have. Baumstein says parents can provide comfort and reassurance by just being there for their children, but says it's important not to lie.
We can't tell them that something like this will never happen in their community or in their school, but we can validate their feelings that it is scary.
The therapist adds that sometimes children won't be ready to talk about their feelings or may need to take breaks from the conversation. She says they can also release that emotion through other means, maybe music, movement, or art.
It's 6:05 this morning, nearly 11 months after the office of a pro-life advocacy group was firebombed. Federal authorities say they now have made an arrest.
The DOJ has taken 29-year-old Hridindu Roy Chaudhary into custody at Logan International Airport. That happened on Tuesday morning in Boston. The U.S. Attorney's Office says that he bought a one-way ticket to Guatemala and was about to board that flight.
Our Arman Rahman breaks down how he was identified as the suspect.
This was the burnt, broken, and vandalized scene 29-year-old Hridindu Roy Chaudhary is accused of leaving behind at the Wisconsin Family Action Office in Madison last Mother's Day. According to the criminal complaint, federal investigators recovered items that could be used for arson, including a mason jar with kerosene and a Molotov cocktail. At the time, WFA President Jelaine Appling said,
I respect the right for people to disagree with it, but we've never had anything that materialized like this.
Authorities collected DNA from the scene and sent it all to the ATF lab. While Chief Sean Barnes declined to comment on the arrest Tuesday, this is what he had to say about the lengthy investigation last year.
As much as we wish we could be able to solve this case today, the forensic process must take time, and we must now wait for those results.
Months went by without an arrest or person of interest, and Appling believed law enforcement wasn't doing enough. She spoke to News 3 Now when the FBI got on the case as well.
It seemed to me that in 8 months that there, that there would be some development in it that they could actually share with me.
Fast forward about 7 months after the firebombing, investigators had obtained DNA profiles for 3 different individuals. But it was the graffiti on the WFA wall that was a big tip. During a protest on Capitol grounds in January, graffiti that read, "We will get revenge," matched the black cursive style, which was found on the WFA wall. In March, they found the vehicle from the January protest vandalism parked at the Dutch Mill Park and Ride in Madison. And out stepped the man they believed to be Hridindu Roy Chaudhary. Court documents say he discarded a brown fast food bag in the trash, which they also collected for DNA evidence, which matched up to the DNA found at the scene of the arson. That's when they said all signs pointed to Roy Chaudhary.
That was our Arman Rahman reporting. The Department of Justice says Roy Chaudhary faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted. The Madison Police Department assisted in this investigation, and both Chief Sean Barnes and the president of Wisconsin Family Action declined our requests for comment. And as we learn more about this continuing situation and more about who this suspect is, be sure to stay with News 3 Now online at channel3000.com and live here on air.
6:08, Adnan Syed was a relative unknown until a podcast thrust his case into the spotlight. You may remember he was recently cleared of murdering his ex-girlfriend. Coming up next, the new twist in the case.
And Badger men's basketball fighting to keep their season alive. Had a nice lead at half if they could finish off North Texas to advance to the NIT Finals.
The price of gold is at a 7-year high. Get top cash on the spot for your gold at Diamond Select. Cash in today while the price of gold is high. Don't miss out. Get instant cash for your gold today at Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
On abortion rights, do you want extremist Dan Kelly holding the gavel? Kelly wants abortion banned even in cases of rape, incest, and the health of the mother. He'll uphold the 1849 criminal abortion law that allows doctors and nurses to be jailed for performing abortions. And he'll strip women of their freedom to make their own decision on abortion. So don't give Dan Kelly a gavel with your vote. He's just too extreme.
Hit the ground running in the most adventurous Honda vehicles yet. Like the Pilot and Passport Trail Sport. Or the Ridgeline, made more rugged with better off-road performance. And more capable with different driving modes available to conquer snow, mud, and sand. Adventure on in the Honda for you. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Milk with your cereal with Fairlife. It's more like cereal with your ultra-filtered milk with a creamy taste plus 50% more protein, 50% less sugar. Turn nutrition into nutrition. Fairlife ultra-filtered milk.
Are we still on for 3?
I'm on phone.
When your team needs more space to work and eat,
Carl, is that mackerel?
No, it's trout.
it matters where you stay.
Fish tacos?
Carl.
Hilton for the stay.
A man brutally attacked and sexually assaulted a woman. The victim spent endless nights unable to sleep, plagued by nightmares. Judge Janet Protasewicz called the offender many females' worst nightmare, but she cut his sentence to only 2.5 years in prison. Judge Janet's dangerous judgment puts our families at risk. That's why sheriffs throughout Wisconsin support Dan Kelly. He's the only candidate we can trust to keep violent felons off our streets. On April 4th, vote Justice Dan Kelly. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Oh, everybody, let's eat naturally. Natural recipes, great taste is guaranteed.
Natural recipes. Beneful. Eat happy. Try new Incredibites. Just for small dogs.
And now please welcome Anna Montoya.
Hey Fitchburg, who are you voting for mayor?
Randy Udell understands how to balance growth and protect our farmland.
Randy is fiscally responsible and he is a great listener. Randy is the inclusive, collaborative leader Fitchburg needs.
Randy Udell's earned my endorsement and the support of first responders. He'll make Fitchburg safer and more welcoming for everyone.
Hi, I'm Randy Udell. Let's move Fitchburg forward together. I ask for your vote on April 4th.
At Diamond Select, our on-site goldsmith can create a beautiful one-of-a-kind piece. Whether it's repurposing an old ring or creating from a picture online, we're here to help you create jewelry of your dreams. Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back at 6:12. A case that pioneered the true crime podcast movement is back in the headlines this morning. A Maryland court just reinstated Adnan Syed's murder conviction.
Comes just 6 months after he was exonerated in the death of his former girlfriend. And it's not because of new evidence linking him to the crime either.
CBS News correspondent Jared Hill explains what happens next.
Nearly 6 months after Adnan Syed walked out of a Maryland courthouse, cleared of the murder of his former girlfriend Hae Min Lee more than 20 years before, new uncertainty over whether he'll have to go back behind bars. Tuesday, a Maryland appellate court reinstated Syed's murder conviction, ordering a new hearing. That decision based on a procedural technicality. 2 out of 3 judges on the panel ruled a lower court failed to give sufficient notice to the victim's family when it scheduled the hearing that vacated Syed's conviction. Lee's brother, who lives across the country in California, was told on a Friday afternoon about that hearing the following Monday. So he attended via Zoom.
They just want it to be done the right way. That's all they're asking for.
In what seemed to be the final episode in Syed's case, chronicled on the popular podcast Serial, back in September, Baltimore prosecutors moved to vacate Syed's conviction. They reviewed the case, finding there were other suspects and unreliable evidence used in his trial.
This decision only puts the case back in the position it was in before that hearing took place.
In a statement, Syed's lawyer emphasized the appeal, quote, was not about Adnan's innocence, but rather the court's scheduling. For now, 41-year-old Syed remains a free man. The court's order doesn't take effect for 60 days. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Syed's legal team plans to appeal the reinstated conviction to the state Supreme Court. Syed, who hasn't directly commented on this latest development, has maintained his innocence.
6:14, let's check in with Kelly Slifka in your first warn forecast. Hey, Kelly.
Yeah, good morning. We are looking at a few snow showers that have been moving through this morning. And behind it, we've got a cold front passing through, and that's going to bring us some Chilly winds coming in out of the northwest, even though we will see some sunshine, and then we'll quickly shift back into a spring-like weather pattern, and that'll bring us some rain showers moving in tomorrow afternoon. And we're talking about the potential for some stronger spring-like thunderstorms on Friday as we get up close to 60. In fact, with the thunderstorms that'll roll in on Friday, we do have a slight risk for most of southern Wisconsin as you head from Madison down the south, and actually an enhanced risk in parts of Grant and Lafayette County. That'll be Friday afternoon and Friday evening. That's what we'll be watching. Meantime, we're reverting back to some winter-like weather with some snow showers and flurries. This is not amounting to too much this morning, but with that cold front passing through, it's going to usher in some colder temperatures, but just a few flurries moving through Dane County. So northwest winds will be picking up this morning, 10 to 20 miles per hour. They'll gradually come down, but that's going to usher in some of that colder air that's going to move in. Right now, we're sitting at 33 in Madison, 32 in Watertown, Janesville 34. Behind that front, though, in the 20s there in the Dells, 28, 21 in Camp Douglas, and already seeing some of that colder air working into our northwestern parts of Dane County, 29 in Sauk City, Waunakee, and Cross Plains, both at 28, 27 right now in Mount Horeb. So the snow showers moving out quickly this morning. I think by 10, 11 o'clock we'll get into quite a bit of sunshine, but that northerly wind will keep us in the 20s this morning, only warming into the mid-30s this afternoon. So quite a change. So we do have a first warn alert day for Friday afternoon, Friday evening, let's say after 3 o'clock till about 8 o'clock. That'll be the opportunity for seeing some of these severe storms that will move in. We can't even rule out an isolated tornado. I know it's hard to believe that we're talking about some snow this morning, but another storm system battering California. That's the one that's going to be passing to our north. We'll be on the warm side of it. So we'll start to see some of these showers develop Thursday afternoon. And then some scattered storms developing, especially Friday afternoon. That's when we'll see some of these isolated storms that could produce some hail, gusty winds, and definitely a lot of rain. We're talking about maybe an inch of rain. First warn forecast, 34 today, 44 tomorrow. Then we're up to 60 Friday with that alert day with the storms developing in the afternoon. Maybe a little bit of minor accumulation of some snow on the backside of the system on Saturday.
One win in Wisconsin is on to Thursday's final. 2 wins, and they're bringing home the program's first NIT championship. But before we get ahead of ourselves, they have to take care of business first, and that means beating North Texas. First ever meeting between the Badgers and the Mean Green, and Greg Gard couldn't have asked for a better first 20 minutes. Chucky Hepburn was unconscious from deep. He made his first 5 triples. Wisconsin led by as many as 14. Second half, it was a much different story. Connor Esigian hits the 3-ball. Badgers up 8 at that point, but that was their last made bucket. Check the time. There's 9 minutes left. Wisconsin closed the game with 10 straight misses, 12 empty possessions, 2 missed free throws, and didn't even get a shot off on the final play. Oof. Those 40 minutes were a microcosm of their season. Strong start, ugly finish.
I don't know if I've been in a locker room that has had that much adversity, but yet never showed 1 ounce of fracturing or individualism. They continue to come to work every day and gave us every single thing they've had.
The way it ended was kind of a cap out season where we get some good things going and then something happens and it's a step backwards, take a few steps forwards, take a few steps backwards.
Matt LaFleur spoke for the first time publicly since Aaron Rodgers went on the Pat McAfee show and said that he intends to play for the Jets. The leader of the pack didn't specifically say that 12's time in Titletown is done, but what he did talk about kind of said it for him, the transition from Rodgers to Love. Now, LaFleur said it would be important for everyone to temper the expectations around number 10 and to realize that at this point in time, Jordan Love is not Aaron Rodgers.
I just think it's going to be a progression. I mean, certainly I think we're fooling ourselves if we think he's going to go out there and perform at a level to the likes of what Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this guy is a once-in-a-lifetime, a generational talent. You know, I think he's excited about the opportunity. I think, you know, going in there last year, particularly against Philly and having some success, gave him some confidence, and that's what you want.
And the Wisconsin women's hockey team parted ways for a bit with their national championship trophy, but for a good reason. The Badgers allowed fans to take pictures with Natty number 7 for 2 hours at Bucky's locker room on Tuesday night. No team in women's hockey has won more national titles than the Badgers. Back to you.
All right, Zach, thank you. Coming up next, a story that might get you thinking that you need to buy a metal detector.
Also ahead, some new comments from the state Supreme Court campaigns about Wisconsin's abortion laws. Stay with us.
Watch News 3 Now at 6 with Eric, Charlotte, Gary, and Zach. Weeknights.
Cobison Buses, now hiring.
My name is Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
On abortion rights, do you want extremist Dan Kelly holding the gavel? Kelly wants abortion banned even in cases of rape, incest, and the health of the mother. He'll uphold the 1849 criminal abortion law that allows doctors and nurses to be jailed for performing abortions. And he'll strip women of their freedom to make their own decision on abortion. So don't give Dan Kelly a gavel with your vote. He's just too extreme.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
What? You mean...
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. It could be the death of someone you know or a health scare. That's why today could be a great day to call for free information about Colonial Penn's $9.95 plan. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. This is permanent coverage. Just pay your premiums for lifelong security. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-290-3399 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-290-3399. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-290-3399. 1-800-290-3399. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
Cobison Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobison, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobison.com to apply.
No, you go ahead.
An Australian man found a 10-pound rock.
Now I'm going to take over, though.
No, tell him what it was filled with, Shane.
No, that doesn't matter. You probably thought we forgot, but it is Chris's 40th
look at
birthday.
That well, thank you.
Did you think we forgot?
Oh, hold on. I got to show you what I found this morning.
Oh. That is very loud.
I want to do this to you.
Oh, good to see you.
Chris's 40th.
I really thought you guys forgot.
Come on. Do you know me at all?
He was trying to let us know.
Leah's here to celebrate. That's our producer,
It is so
Cody.
good to see you guys.
Photojournalist Mark Schilling's in the house. There he is.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Leah,
40.
come sit down.
Oh. Hi, guys. What's this?
So I wanted to bring this in this morning. Underneath my door, when I woke up, I found a sweet little card from my oldest.
Oh, that's very nice.
Look at this. Look at this. Can you zoom in here, Nina, on this card?
Whoa.
Hold on, here we go. Look at this.
It says...
What do we got?
Oh, to Dad.
To Dad from
Paige.
Oh, that's cute.
It says inside.
Oh, sweet.
It says, Dear Dad, happy birthday. I love you. You are the best dad in the world.
Oh.
How about that? Couldn't ask for anything more.
You're going to bring me to zero. Things are falling apart as soon as you turn 40.
Look at this.
So big, 4-0. How does it feel?
I'll be honest, I wasn't really looking forward to this one. But this makes it a lot better. I appreciate it. 40 feels old. Kelly's, tell me what I can expect.
Wait, no.
You're not 40 yet, are you?
We don't talk about those things.
You were trying to hide the date from us for a long time. Like, you wouldn't be very explicit about it, but, you know, I did some Facebook stalking, and
Yeah, it is on Facebook.
we did have a little fun.
Well.
You know, Facebook, that has everyone's information.
Congratulations to Gary Canalti. He was the first one to wish me a happy birthday on Facebook.
Care. That man is very good about that stuff.
It was like right after midnight, because he's always here working late.
Right.
Right? So, yeah, he was the first one in the gate this morning with the happy birthday wishes.
I did see it, and I was like, well, I don't want you to think we didn't remember.
I appreciate that, guys.
The
Thank
confetti,
you.
the confetti
You
bomb.
totally
Not too
surprised me.
bad.
Did I
Not
jump?
too bad.
Did I jump? Like,
I mean,
holy cow.
I knew that it was happening, and it still scared the crap out of me. But happy 40th.
Thanks, everybody.
We
Thank
love you. Stay with us, folks. We're back right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I'm going for Judge Janet
Protestowitz?
You don't need to know how to say Protestowitz to know that Judge Janet believes in abortion rights, fairness, and public safety.
Protestowitz.
It would appear that the butler did it. But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get a low $359 per month lease on road.
Catch these offers while you can.
Spring is in the air, and you know what that means. It's Feldco season.
Feldco season. It means 50% off windows with no money down, no payments, and no interest until 2024. So you can replace those eyesores without breaking the bank. It means getting the windows you want fast, so your home's ready for the warmer weather ahead. It's the season of home renewal. It's Feldco season. 50% off windows ends Friday.
Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
We're doing everything we can to reduce our carbon footprint.
We are 100% employee-owned.
We are Barnes.
We know that a healthy green lawn is top of mind this time of year. Go with the Barnes 4-Step Lawn Care Program by scheduling a free consult with a licensed lawn care professional. Welcome to Barnesville. From planting to tree and shrub pruning, seeding to sodding, mowing to mulching, and everything in between. Discover the Barnes difference. Get started at barnesinc.net.
I'm voting for Gloria because she's committed rebuilding State Street.
I'm voting for Gloria because she will invest in nonprofits, entrepreneurs, and small businesses.
I believe in Gloria because she supports body cameras for our police officers, promoting safety, accountability, and trust.
I have been drafted to run for Madison mayor because people know that I care about our city. Vote Gloria Reyes on April 4th. Let's move Madison forward together.
Now's the time for cleaner indoor air. Now's the time for a professional air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer. You've known us for cleaning carpet and hard floors, but we've been developing and perfecting our air duct cleaning process and equipment for over 20 years. We do things the right way, cleaning your entire system. So if it's been a while or you've never had your air ducts professionally cleaned, now's the time to call 1-800-STEAMER. Call or go online to book a free inspection today.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
A teenager with the mental capacity of a 6-year-old, tricked by a predator on Facebook using a fake name, who then sexually assaulted her. It was pure evil. If Judge Janet Protasiewicz was to ever take a stand for a victim, this was the time, and this was the victim. But she failed, again, placing the man on probation with a measly 60 days in the local jail. Tell Janet Protasiewicz, stop letting predators off easy.
It would appear that the butler did it. But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select models.
Catch these offers while you can.
Extremist Dan Kelly wants abortion banned, even in cases of rape and the health of the mother. Kelly will uphold Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban that strips women of their freedom to make personal decisions on abortion.
People with disabilities are being disenfranchised, and that is not acceptable.
This morning, turned away at the polls. We are clearing up the rules so everyone's vote is counted.
Also, 6 days to go. The state Supreme Court campaigns go head-to-head in the latest debate and weigh in on the state's abortion law.
And we're looking at a little bit of a light snow and flurries moving through Madison. It's going to be a cold day, but we're talking about some spring-like thunderstorms later this week.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
I'm Shane Hogan. Now that we had the surprise, happy birthday.
You guys really surprised me. You got me. I thought you guys forgot. To be honest, I forgot it was
Look at that.
I forgot it was my birthday.
That's how much confetti is on the floor right now after we just surprised Chris. The big 4-0. Yeah.
40.
Well, happy birthday.
Well, thank you very much.
Glad
we have a lot to get to today.
Yes.
I know as much as I would love to talk about me all morning, we got to get to the forecast because we have a lot of things to talk about. Very active weather pattern that continues, Kelly.
Yeah, we've had a few light snow showers and flurries moving through Madison, southern Wisconsin. This isn't amounting to too much, but just kind of a sign of, we just can't get rid of the snow out there. Right now, just some flurries moving through Dane County, not going to accumulate. It will bring in some colder air. We're sitting at 33 now. I think we're going to drop into the 20s over the next couple of hours because of that northwest wind behind that front. Some early morning snow showers. That'll taper off. We'll get into some sunshine this afternoon. Then as some warmer air moves in tomorrow, we're looking at some rain to develop. And eventually, as we get in the warm sector of the storm system coming in from the Pacific, we are expecting some stronger storms to develop, it looks like Friday afternoon. Meantime, these snow showers move on to the south. I think after 10 o'clock or so, we'll start to see some sun breaking out. It's going to be a sunny afternoon, but it's going to be deceiving as we only head into the mid-30s this afternoon. So commuting, no problems this morning, just a few snow showers and flurries. A lot of sunshine this afternoon. Need those sunglasses and have that heavier coat because it's going to be rather chilly today. We'll talk more about that storm potential later this week coming up.
All right, Kelly, thank you. You can stay on top of those changing conditions by downloading the First Warn Weather app. Just search for WISC Weather in your app store.
It's campaign 2023 now. We are 6 days away from Election Day. And the state Supreme Court campaigns are taking part in a forum. It happened last night at UW-Milwaukee. Candidate Daniel Kelly not there, though. He was represented instead by current Justice Rebecca Bradley. She and candidate Janet Protasewicz were both asked about abortion as a challenge to the state's 1849 law works its way through the system.
Obviously, I can't comment on what I would do on any case. But my personal value is that a woman should be able to make her reproductive health care decisions. No candidate should be discussing his or her position on that issue. It is prejudging the issue, and it will again force recusal.
Abortion, just one of the hot button issues on the campaign trail, as this race will determine the balance of the court. Both candidates have agreed on one thing, though, and that's a constitutional amendment that would allow judges to consider more factors when setting bail. Voters will decide to enact those changes to the bail system on April 4th.
And with the election coming up, some absentee voters are being turned away at the polls. In Wisconsin, some voters with disabilities are unable to vote through no fault of their own. Before 2020, anyone in Wisconsin could receive assistance when returning an absentee ballot. But in the summer of 2022, Senate Republicans sued to ban absentee ballot drop boxes, and the Supreme Court ruled only the voter can return their ballot. Shortly after, a judge ruled anyone who was not the voter's employer could help submit a disabled person's ballot. Misinformation and confusion is contributing to people and their votes being turned away.
We are very concerned that as a result of the incorrect information that many communities are providing on their websites, that people with disabilities are being disenfranchised, and that is not acceptable. We have a very important election in April 4th, and people with disabilities need equitable access to voting. And currently, there are far too many barriers. That has to stop.
Advocates urge that every voter should know their rights. Anyone can vote absentee right now. Just visit myvote.wi.gov to find your polling location.
Taking a live look at the State House this morning, lawmakers recently introduced universal changing stations to make sure everyone feels welcome at the People's House. The station serves as an adult-sized changing table so people can have easier access to what they might need. Legislators also say the table creates a home base so people are more free to explore downtown Madison. Governor Tony Evers' budget does include an income and franchise tax credit for small businesses to install universal changing tables.
New information this morning, the DNR has reported 23 wildfires this season and says this season is coming a bit earlier than usual. Grass wildfires generally happen around this time of year when the snow melts and the grass is dormant or looks dead. There are normally around 1,000 wildfires in Wisconsin every season. The DNR says to be extra cautious as we work into spring, but be aware of the conditions and avoid burning on windy days. If you chose to burn, keep the piles small and always have water available if things get out of hand.
A Wisconsin soldier who died during World War II has finally come home. William Sonny Simon's funeral was held yesterday morning. It came after his remains were identified with extensive DNA testing. His family was able to take him to his final destination at St. Bernard's Catholic Cemetery, where he was celebrated by his loved ones and the community he left behind.
It's an incredible sense of closure, of relief, just knowing that he's here, he's back with us where he should be, and it lets Sonny know that his sacrifice was worth it.
And it's Sonny for Sonny today.
Sonny Simon was buried next to his parents at St. Bernard's Catholic Cemetery. He's survived by a sister and a brother with generations of nieces and nephews who were all at yesterday's services.
6:36, the CDC is issuing a new warning about a drug-resistant and potentially deadly fungus spreading across the U.S., including here in Wisconsin. Around 2,400 cases were reported of people with Candida auris. It's a fungal infection that has been present in the U.S. for several years now. The first Wisconsin case was reported last year, and currently the state has 7 active cases. The fungus does not normally make healthy people sick and is commonly contracted in healthcare settings. It sticks to surfaces and people's hands easily and does not respond to household cleaners. Though infections are rare, 30 to 60% of infected persons die from the fungus. The best way to slow the spread and protect yourself is frequent and thorough hand washing.
Well, here's a story to lift you up. A volunteer firefighter in Massachusetts being called a hero for rescuing a family pet. After days of searching for a dog named Toro, and there's Toro.
Oh, sweetie.
This firefighter launched his own personal drone to help in the search. And from high above, he spotted Toro on the drone's camera. The dog's leash had gotten caught in the branches, tethering him to the trees and making him unable to escape. A short time later, Toro was reunited with his family.
This is a great story. Love that they were reunited at once, and oh, what a cute pup.
Happy ending.
Absolutely. All right, it's 6:37. We are taking a live look outside this morning. Traffic is moving nicely. Tracking a little bit of snow out there, though. Coming up, we'll get the latest timing on some thunderstorm chances for later in the week.
Also ahead, the steps the FDA is taking to prevent another baby formula shortage. Stay with us.
My experience going to Ortho Teen was a 10. It was phenomenal. My life now, after having the conformist knee, I have no pain. I'm walking, I'm driving. I can go to work. I feel like I could be in my 20s again.
There were severe health complications with my baby when I was pregnant. We made the decision to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Dan Kelly doesn't believe that women should even have that freedom. On the Supreme Court, Dan Kelly will uphold the criminal ban on abortion. Someone you love might struggle with a pregnancy like I did. And that's why we can't have an extremist like Dan Kelly on the Supreme Court.
Brothers Maine has been family-owned since 1938. Some of us were born into this family, and others chose to join through the years. We know you can't replace family, but you can replace appliances, and Brothers Maine is here for you when one breaks down. Our in-house team has delivered ranges to washers to refrigerators to hectic households in a pinch, oftentimes the next day. Just because an appliance breaks down doesn't mean you have to. We're not big box, we're Brothers Maine, and we want you to feel like family here.
Good news. This just in. Your Ford dealers have fresh shipments of their award-winning SUV lineup in stock and ready for you to drive home today. Get your hands on a new Ford, the #1 brand in SUV owner loyalty, including Bronco Sport with standard GOAT modes and Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. And now, here's more good news. Choose FlexBuy on Escape and get 2.9% APR financing for 66 months plus $1,500 FlexBuy cash.
Team, I need a volunteer. We need promotional products.
I'm on it. 4imprint makes promotional product success easy. For high-quality items, go to 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain. Create your perfect room for entertaining, relaxing, and more with patio enclosures. Right now, get 25% off your sunroom. Plus, enjoy exceptional financing. Call today. Patio enclosures.
I'm voting for Gloria because she will invest in nonprofits, entrepreneurs, and small businesses.
I'm voting for Gloria because she's going to make the opportunity of home ownership a priority for Madisonians.
I believe in Gloria because she supports body cameras for our police officers, promoting safety, accountability, and trust.
I have been drafted to run for Madison mayor because people know that I care about our city. Vote Gloria Reyes on April 4th. Let's move Madison forward together.
My experience going to ortho teen was a 10. It was phenomenal. My life now, after having the conformist knee, I have no pain. I'm walking, I'm driving. I can go to work. I feel like I could be in my 20s again.
For over 2 years, a Sauk County woman paid monthly for a home warranty plan. But after several repair claims, no money reimbursed.
You just get kind of put off.
Tahlil Mohildin shows you what happened after this disgruntled customer made a call for action. Thursday at 6. The News 3 Now bracket battle marches on.
Look at all this red.
Isn't that crazy?
Is your bracket busted? See how your picks are measuring up against the News 3 Now anchors every day during our bracket battle. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back at 6:41. Steady friendships may be an asset to your physical health. That's according to a new study. It found that good friends and good physical health may be even more closely linked than previously thought. Researchers discovered positive social experiences impact not only a person's stress level and ability to cope, but also markers of physical health. However, they also found social relationships with balance between good and bad can be unhelpful. So when there is a lot of volatility, the negative experiences seem to have more of an impact on than when a person has positive experiences. The study comes from the journal Society for Personality and Social Psychology.
Some good news for parents who formula feed their babies. The FDA says it now has a plan in place to make sure the U.S. supply of baby formula stays constant and safe. The agency laid out some key steps it says will increase the resiliency of the country's infant formula market. Those steps include making sure the formula industry can identify risks to the supply chains and develop plans to make any potential disruptions of production less severe. The strategy comes as the Biden administration faced a lot of criticism for its handling of last year's formula shortage.
6:43 this morning. We're going to send it over to Kelly Slifka. Morning, Kelly.
Yeah, good morning, guys. We are looking at some snow showers this morning, but then we're going to turn into a spring-like weather pattern later this week. We do have a severe weather threat, slight risk from Madison down to the south and even into parts of Grant and Lafayette County. We do have an enhanced risk as we have a strong storm system that's going to be approaching us later this week. Meantime, a cold front passing through. We're not done with the snow yet. We still have some snow showers moving through. This is minor, not really going to be accumulating, but you might run into some flurries for a time this morning. We will see some northwest winds pick up behind this front, and that's going to bring in some colder temperatures as we go through the afternoon. In fact, we'll slip probably about 5 to 10 degrees over the next couple of hours because of the northwest winds. We're at 33 in Madison, but it's down to 27 in the Dells. 21 right now in Camp Douglas, and that northwest wind will drop our temperatures into the mid-20s over the next couple of hours. Right now we're sitting at 33 here in Madison, 29 right now in Oregon. So we'll have the clouds this morning, the snow showers tapering off as we go through the morning hours. By 10 o'clock or so, we'll start to see the sun moving in, but we're only in the 20s, even with that sunshine, through through the noon hour. I think we'll hit the mid-30s this afternoon, running quite a bit below our average for this time of the year. Then we're going to flip the switch and go into a spring-like weather pattern later this week. We do have a first warn alert day Friday afternoon, Friday evening. Let's say after 3 o'clock till about 8 o'clock, we'll have the potential for some severe storms rolling through. We can't rule out high winds, hail. We're definitely going to see some heavy rain and maybe a couple of isolated tornadoes. Hard to believe we're talking about some snow that's moving through now, but it's this system right now that's battering California with heavy rain, heavy mountain snow. That's going to be tracking just to our north, so we'll be on the warm side of it. And tomorrow afternoon, we'll all start to see some showers move through. We'll probably get a bit of a break Thursday night, at least for a time. Some scattered showers on and off Friday, maybe a little bit of sunshine, but if you get any of that sunshine, that just adds fuel to the fire. And you can see how isolated these storms are later in the afternoon, and that's where we could have some hail, strong winds, and even some tornadoes that'll be moving in, it looks like, into a Friday evening. Heavy rain expected with this system as well. Rainfall amounts maybe upwards of an inch in some areas. So we've got it all for you in the first warn forecast. 34 today with the snow showers this morning, then sun this afternoon. 44 tomorrow, some showers develop in the afternoon, maybe some thunderstorms later Thursday night, but more importantly, that first warn alert day. Friday afternoon, Friday evening, temperatures near 60 with some strong storms rolling through. And we can't rule out some more snow. We may add to our totals on Saturday morning, some minor accumulation, maybe an inch or two, but then we warm up into the 50s and dry weather on Sunday.
Up and down. Okay, Kelly, thank you. While rents in Madison saw some of the highest year-over-year increases, there is some good news, though, for home buyers. New numbers are out showing home prices in the U.S. continue to fall. The latest National Home Price Index shows housing prices fell in January for the 7th month in a row. 15 out of 20 cities in the index reported month-to-month declines.
Spring break air travel's in full swing, and the U.S. Travel Association says airports are overwhelmed with demand. Officials at Miami International Airport are telling flyers to get there 3 hours before a domestic flight. The usual guidance is 2 hours. Still, experts say some potential flyers are avoiding the skies, mainly because of last year's meltdowns from weather and failing technology still fresh in their minds. According to figures from the Transportation Security Administration, travel this March is about 3% slower, actually, than it was in 2019. Coming up in the morning sprint, bad news if you're looking for an apartment to rent. The reasons prices keep going up.
But first, we want to say happy birthday to our own Chris Stanford.
40.
Big 40. And all the other kiddos turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us here on News 3 Now this morning. We're going to give Chris his birthday licks in this commercial break. We'll be back after this.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Come to Slumberland and get 20% off our beautiful new furniture and decor during our Spring Spruce Up event. Plus extra discounts on recliners, patio, Sealy mattresses, and sectionals. Get an extra 20% off right now at Slumberland Furniture.
Remember this, and the false selector scheme. In Wisconsin, extremist Dan Kelly was the right-wing lawyer behind the scenes of it all. The bipartisan January 6th Commission revealed Kelly advised Trump operatives as special counsel to overturn the will of the people and overthrow the election results. Kelly even went on tour promoting the big lie. On April 4th, vote like democracy depends on it, because it does.
Well, I'll have another. Make it a double.
Dad, Mom thinks she's at a resort again.
Yeah, she told me.
When you'd rather not resort to a virtual resort,
This is much better in real life.
it matters where you stay.
Looking good, babe.
Hilton for the stay.
And now please welcome Anna Montoya.
Hello there, fellow students.
There are so many things we take for granted. So many things. And along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for their survival for granted too. The elderly, disabled, the veterans, people on limited and fixed incomes, or folks that lost jobs in sectors hardest hit during the pandemic. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? Some people just can't come back. And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind, struggling to keep their heat, water, and power on. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our heat, water, and power providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get that big fitness energy for just $1 down, $10 a month. No commitment, cancel anytime. It's a great deal, and our 17 million members agree.
You can say that again.
Okay, as I said, you can join for just $1 down, $10 a month.
What a deal!
So turn your low energy into big fitness energy and enjoy tons of equipment in a clean and spacious judgment-free zone to get that post-workout glow. So get going, or shall I say glowing? Join for just $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, April 5th.
There were severe health complications with my baby when I was pregnant. We made the decision to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Dan Kelly doesn't believe that women should even have that freedom. On the Supreme Court, Dan Kelly will uphold the criminal ban on abortion. Someone you love might struggle with a pregnancy like I did. And that's why we can't have an extremist like Dan Kelly on the Supreme Court.
Sleeping in pain or too hot? Come to Slumberland and get 20% off mattresses. Find your perfect mattress with our easy rating system and save big. Get a Sealy Queen mattress for just $4.99, only at Slumberland.
Culligan, here for every water worry.
6:51, time for the morning sprint.
We start with breaking news out of Russia this morning. New information as a senior Russian diplomat says Moscow has suspended sharing information about its nuclear forces with the United States. Russia has begun exercises with the Yars long-range missile system and several thousand troops. The exercises will include Russian forces training to secretly deploy and maneuver the missiles that have confirmed a range of 7,500 miles. Since the Ukraine invasion began, Russia has regularly conducted exercises, but not yet with the Yars missile system.
Well, after about 10 months, authorities have arrested a man suspected of firebombing a pro-life advocacy group. The Department of Justice took 29-year-old Prindendu Roy Chaudhary into custody at Logan International Airport in Boston yesterday morning. The U.S. Attorney's Office says he'd bought a one-way ticket to Guatemala and was about to board a flight. Roy Chaudhary faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted.
The CDC is warning about a drug-resistant and potentially deadly fungus spreading across the U.S., including here in Wisconsin. Wisconsin currently has 7 active cases of Candida auris. It commonly spreads in healthcare settings, sticks to surfaces and skin easily, and does not react to common household cleaners. The best way to protect yourself is frequent and thorough hand washing.
What's going on with rent prices? New data from the apartmentlist.com says that Madison's rent is rising faster than any of the nation's 100 largest cities.
I would know.
14.1% year over year. You believe that? Rising transient population, already insufficient housing, and the fact that people just want to live in Madison all contribute to the crisis.
The DNR says state trail passes for this year are now available. A state trail pass is required for all people age 16 or older. Biking, inline skating, horseback riding, or off-highway motorcycling on specific state trails. A pass is not required for walking or hiking. Annual passes are $25 for residents and non-residents. There's also a $5 state trail day pass available.
A bookstore owner in Iowa is voicing his concerns after a parent bought 10 banned books from his store. The parent said she was worried her children won't have access to those books soon. The owner said books people are most concerned about being banned are Catcher in the Rye, Animal Farm, and Slaughterhouse-Five. The owner says he's sad that parents have to go to those lengths to make sure children have access to books.
39 people are dead and 29 injured after a fire broke out at a migrant facility in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. Ciudad Juarez is a major processing point for migrants entering the U.S. Mexico's Attorney General's office has launched an inquiry and has investigators on scene trying to find out what caused that fire.
A massive rally held in Glynn County, Georgia in support of a teenager who was hospitalized after a hazing incident. Hospital staff says his blood alcohol level was 6 times the legal limit and he had drugs in his system. Police there was a video that surfaced showing the teen was sprayed with water while slumped over in a chair.
And check this out, Pepsi is tapping into some nostalgia, releasing an updated logo. This new logo looks a lot like a modern version of a retro one that some of you might remember. It seems customers are attached to the old logo from back in the 1900s. So the company went back to it. I'm sure you guys remember that. You do for sure, 40-year-old. All right, Kelly Slifka, what do you got?
Well, you remember the one before that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
the good old
absolutely
days.
not.
We've got a northwest wind that's going to be bringing us some colder temperatures this afternoon. We've had a few snow showers this morning, but it's not amounting to too much. We're sitting at 33 now, but it's down to 27 in the Dells. Temperatures will drop a few more degrees this morning. We'll get into some sunshine this afternoon, but it's going to be deceiving. Our forecast, our first morning forecast, 34 today with the sun. We start to warm up tomorrow. That'll bring us some rain showers. We do have a first warning alert day on Friday for some severe weather potential. May see some strong winds, hail. Can't rule out an isolated tornado. That comes to an end by Saturday morning, but it may lead to a little bit of snow as we kick off April, and it's no joke either. We're not fooling you. 41, but we do warm up quickly. That snow will be melting, so maybe we can get over the hump, it looks like, next week.
All right. Hey, look who's here. Back at the desk. Woo! Happy 40th, Mr. Chris Stanford.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Leah, you're back Monday.
This isn't about me. This is about
No, I know. I know. Happy 40th to Chris.
You forgot the baby.
Next time.
We've got confetti all over this place right now, but it's been a fun morning celebrating our boy, Mr. Chris Stanford.
I appreciate it. Thanks for all the birthday wishes so far from the viewers who have sent in messages. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Hopefully I will have a wonderful day too.
Absolutely.
And I won't get too depressed now that I'm 40. I can't believe it. All right.
We'll wheel you out of here in a wheelchair.
Yeah,
Thanks, folks. We're back in a half hour.